Welcome back to Man Matters, episode 41, with Dave and myself, Dervin.
How's it going?
Good, man. Doing good. Nice April showers supposed to be coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a good weekend of some events. And then who's number one? Number 27 with Nicky Rod versus Kenyon Duarte. ADCC champion versus big money champion. $1 million tournament. Some of the other matches were going on. One of the first one was Andrew Tackett match. That was impressive.
That was. It's quick.
Because he was defending a leg lock from the other guy. He looked like the guy was going K-guard, trying to go on the backside, 50-50 lasso. I usually try to defend that by preventing the other guy from getting the lasso. But in this instance, he was actually he was pinning the bottom leg, the other leg, preventing from like controlling his far leg. And then also the guy we just got nearly willy because at one point the guy was smirking too, laughing because
Really? I didn't see
when he was
that.
pushing Tackett, he was pushing on his butt. He was laughing like, "Oh shit, this is weird." Then after that, he got to nearly willy, and Tackett. You saw that the guy was kept the leg right there, so he wrapped up his leg around his hip and controlled the inside heel hook and finished it from there. But that was fast.
Yeah, that was. I really wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting, like you were saying, I was expecting him to go maybe for the other side to threaten, but yeah, no, that near side was quick.
Yeah, and he's known for being one of those guys that he goes for finish.
Right. Yep.
Like for example, his match versus Rotolo in the same match in CJI. That was like a high octane match.
Yeah.
I would hate to be the judge to score that match.
I know. He's definitely one of those guys that you can pretty much always count on to have an exciting fight. Always. He goes after it. So giving him good opponents is, a good choice.
Has he gone against Tonon? Gary Tonon?
Not that I've seen.
Because that would be a good match to
It would.
see. Him or Jeff Glover.
I was going to say Jeff Glover, yeah. Because he does some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Is Jeff Glover still going? I haven't really seen much of him competing lately.
He got injured. He said that he was injured when he went against Uriah. He has some back issues or something like that. Also, donkey guard.
Yeah. I can't imagine why he has back issues.
What a pain in the ass. Another thing after that was, I think it was Helena match was next because she lost against that girl before. I think it's ADCC 2022, and I lost against her,
Elizabeth Clay.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I really like Elizabeth Clay. The first time I heard about her, I can't remember what tournament it was. I don't know if it was ADCC or I don't think it was. I can't remember what tournament it was. But she came out and she came out mean. Like she was brutalizing the girls in her division. She was heel hooking, she was attacking, like just ran through everybody. And she was getting a lot of hate because she wasn't playing like nice jiu-jitsu. But she was like rolling like the guys do and like doing really, really well. And it was awesome. So I've really liked her since then. So to be honest, I was rooting for her on this one. But a little disappointed. I felt like she really just didn't get her flow going, you know? I feel like Helena had a plan, shut her down, and yeah, I think she got
finish it, that rear naked show because she had the hand inside the rear naked show and she was still able to finish.
Yep. Well, I think that goes into the really proper technique that Danaher teaches for finishing it. If you get a really good grip there, I mean, it's not even like a super like muscle grip. It's like a technical grip, and then you use your shoulders and your back and your body to clamp it. It's tight, you know?
Yeah. And also, Elena didn't look like she was like straining that hard.
Right.
She was just mothering,
Right, exactly.
Wow, it was impressive.
Very.
Going back to the being aggressive, some people are giving hell to Wagner Rocha's daughter about how she goes for the armbar. She puts her foot in your neck.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I saw that. It's, to me, that's so dumb. That is so much a part of it. Like, that is not dirty in any way, in my opinion. That's like, I don't know how civilized you can make a combat based sport before it's just total bullshit, you know? To me, that's just part of jiu-jitsu. If you're not expecting that at a tournament, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's not like
I
they
don't
go
know.
for out gouging and pulling hair, like over ripping
Right,
fingers.
exactly.
That's dirty.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I, that being said, I used to do that with my, instead of putting the foot, I used to put my shin on the neck while used to go for the far side straight armbar
Yep.
to pin the
Yep.
head like facing away.
Yeah. It's brutal. It sucks. But I mean, that's kind of the point. That's the beauty of it, really.
It takes away the bridge too. If the
Yep.
bridge, my shin's
Yeah.
going right into the
Yeah.
neck like a
Yeah.
guillotine.
That's valid. Yep. No, I saw that and I couldn't believe that that was actually like people were complaining about that. I think it must have been somebody who lost who didn't wish, you know, it was just so poor sport started that.
Yeah, learn how to defend it. How about that? That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
simple.
Yeah. Don't get there. You won't get your foot in
Yeah,
the neck.
just don't. That'd be simple. Another match was Luke Griffith match versus was it Nico? What's his name?
I don't know if I saw that one. Was it early?
No, that was around Elena's. Right after Elena's thing. This is the guy that beat Nicky Rod back in March.
Oh, I didn't know Shanjin. Dang.
Victor Hugo. That's who we went against. Victor Hugo beat
Okay.
Nicky Rod, I think back in March in overtime Renegade show.
Okay. I must have seen it if it was around that time.
He was in danger. Luke Griffith was in danger. Victor was in his back early in the match.
Yeah, okay. That, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he had to
I
fight
do.
back. He was able to roll out of there and then reset back again, standing up. Well, it wasn't reset back standing up, but he was able to get out of there. And then he was able to get out, and then he was able to get a good left takedown, and then attacking Victor, and just control the rest of the match.
Yeah.
It was a long match. That was like 20 minutes. It went to the full length. I think it was 15 minutes. You know how they give advantage in there. I think he won by advantage.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Judges' criteria.
That's so weird. I don't know why they're not showing up. I'm in the who's number one thing and I'm not seeing. Oh, there he is. I see his name.
And because of it, he was promoted to black belt by John Danaher.
That's a pretty high honor there.
Oh
Getting
yeah,
a black belt from him, especially.
yeah. How tall is Luke Griffith?
I don't know that one.
He's tall as shit.
6'5".
Because he made Giancarlo look small. Yeah, he got promoted. I wonder what kind of knife he got.
I wonder. I wonder. Is that common for Danaher to promote at competitions? I don't remember him doing that before.
I don't remember if he promoted Elena after ADCC taking second place. Because remember,
He
she's
might
the
have.
youngest athlete to medal in ADCC. I mean, she's a teenager. And she's silver. Took silver.
Yep.
ADCC.
Hey, look, Nicholas Margali. I haven't
Yeah.
heard him in a long time
Last year, when he hurt his
since
shoulder.
the injury. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. I said purple belt. They beat him.
Yeah, I think it was. Hey man, those purple belt pimps, you know.
I know, right? You gotta watch out, man. Them be coming slow. They don't warm over shit, but they'll sneak up on you and fast one on you. Sneaky shit. But oh, look who else is in there. I haven't seen in a while. Adolfo. Shout out to Adolfo.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he was, I don't know how long he's been training on. Luke Griffith has been training on their Danaher.
To be honest, yeah, I don't know.
Because I think it's been like within the last, I want to say within the last 4 years.
Mhm.
I think he's from South Africa.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think so. Yeah. And according to his Facebook post too, now he's ranked second in the world behind Felipe Pena.
In the world?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. But look, I mean, look at those ranking. Cyborg, Kenan Duarte, Marigali, Nicky Rod, Luke Griffith.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah. 3 of those top 5 were trained in the same room at one point.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
I
Iron
think
sharpens iron.
not. Yeah, for real. Josh Sanders.
And then also look at Dan, not far behind with New
Yeah.
Wave Jiu-Jitsu.
That's crazy. Those are not really the rankings I was expecting.
Yeah. I wonder who's ranking this. Like
Yeah.
Buffalo
Like,
Grappling rankings or what?
and I wonder how.
Yeah. Because remember, Nicky Rod lost to Victor Hugo. He had lost to Ken Duarte, but he just beat him. He beat Felipe Pena. Did he beat Felipe Pena?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, whenever Gordon Ryan pulled out.
Yeah.
He beat him. But Felipe Pena is number 1. I'm confused.
That does seem a little odd. Yeah.
Maybe it's because of. But I was going to say because competition, like not Nicky Rod doesn't compete that much, but Nicky Rod is about every other who's number 1.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they're scoring that.
We'll see.
Are they saying Gordon's retired, so they're not putting him in the rankings?
He's not as active. He only competed
True.
in
True.
ADCC, and before that, how long was this? He's competed like 2 years.
Oh, that's valid. Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, really hasn't been active at all.
Definitely trying to rank Adriano Galvao.
Yeah, true.
Adriano Galvao doesn't compete that much, but Cyborg does compete in back to Russia. Like, dude, I know about that he had what was it, a car failure, CHF.
Yeah, that, and I think we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
You know, how he's so active and so much pressure and like well beyond what somebody his age should be able to do. So, you know, definitely on something. And then we were talking about how it limits your life.
Yeah, dude, like it's like trying to put high octane in a geometric engine. That engine, the engine block is going to fry.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's gonna work really well for a while, and then it's gonna burn out real quick.
Better have good handling on that thing because when it crashes, it crashes.
No lie.
I wonder how was the long term damage that was done too. Just think about.
Right. I wonder if that's a signal for the end. It's got to be. I would think.
To be. Pick up pickleball or something else that's not as strenuous. Because you have to take consideration. It's strenuous and also is stressful.
Right.
As far as the sport.
Yep.
Put a lot of stress on your body. Put it mentally also stressful. And then I mean the pace that he was putting in ADCC as well. I guess people he was going against, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He lost. The only one he lost was Amika in the final.
Right. Yeah, and Mika can go and go and go and go.
Yeah. And Mika's what, 21, 22? He's young. He's keeping up with him.
Yeah, that's not normal.
No. Balance, man. Balance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like because he's like long term damage. I don't know how long he's been doing to his heart. Because one thing is like the ejection fraction of your heart. How like trying to get it back, the number up. And while there are like cardiovascular issues that he had along the way that he done because of whatever he was on, whatever stack he was on.
Right.
Is the juice worth a squeeze? That's a question.
I mean, yeah, sure. It depends who you ask.
Yeah. Because did he win ADCC back to Russia?
He was up there not this one, but the last one, right? I don't know.
I know he did the other one. Is that the same weight class as Rotolo? Kate Rotolo?
That I don't know. Okay, bronze medal 2022 ADCC.
BGF.
Huh?
How about IBGF? Silver. So you get tested.
Yeah, right. His opponents all won by walkover for the last match. I don't understand.
Yeah, the guy actually had a blown knee in that semis. And he got a walkover and still got second place. Apparently he double forfeit. The other guy was more Brazilian than him.
Yeah.
The other guy's last name was Ribeiro. Or Silva. That's why.
Yeah.
He got a Russia. It's not Brazilian enough. Well, and then the final was Nicky Rod versus Kenny Duarte in that last. What do you think about that match?
It was pretty interesting. Started out so like I've always pictured Nicky as a good wrestler, but they were talking about him in that match not really having great wrestling compared. And it started out and it really seemed like that, you know? I really hadn't seen Nicky get pushed around like that.
He was losing the hand fight in the stand apart.
Eventually played guard, which again I have not seen him do that very often at all. I thought that was close to the end, to be honest, because I've never seen him as a guard player, you know? So in that high of a match, for him to like have to completely adjust his game there for a second, that's a tall order, but he definitely did it. And then, yeah, I don't know. That was pretty cool to see. Interesting side that I hadn't really seen before. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, like, you can see that Duarte was able to wear him out too. Something you haven't seen Nicky Rod do in a while. He get wore out in a match. That he had like, even when he was on mount, he was trying to go for the heading arm triangle, or trying like he was able like to control the arm to get the heading arm.
Mhm.
And he just holding that position on mount for a while. And Duarte, he looked like he's having a hard time trying to do any escape out of there. Like framing on the hip or anything like that. He like trying to pull him down. Like I don't know what he was trying to do. Uh, or like even like getting his shoulders back a little bit, trying to escape out of the mount. Also sneaky rod too, also on top of him.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, I know people were talking like he needs to do this to get out of there, but like you're saying, it's Nicky Rod, and Nicky Rod is phenomenal in that position. So, like, that is his bread and butter. Absolutely.
Cooking the beans.
Yeah. So, like, sure, like, there are supposed to be ways out of that, but I'm sure Nicky Rod made that feel way harder.
Yeah. That's why he was isolating the arm, take away the escape.
Yeah.
And that was it was the last 10 seconds or so. He went for a mother's milk.
Yeah.
And
And
you can see he was he was squirming trying to escape out of there. Like when did he go for that? You also probably a lot of people don't go for that because it feels like you can lose your balance from there on this milk because you both of your arms wrap around.
yeah. Yeah. I feel like Nikki was kind of using that well though, because like as like there's a lot of flailing and a lot of squirming, but in those moments there was like brief openings, I guess, to restabilize, and he was doing that extremely well. Pretty impressive mother's milk, honestly.
Yeah.
If he
Who do you think should go next? Who's number one?
I think you could do a Nikki versus. It would be cool to see like a Nikki versus Margali at some point, but I don't know that. I don't know if Margali will come back for that or not.
Yeah. I'm not sure he will take it. Who's in Danaher's team that he announced for TGI? Because one of those their heavyweight probably would be willing to go against Nicky Rod. Was it in the B team that they have the announced the team that Danaher was it going to put out there?
B team that announced it.
It was Craig Jones or B team. They announced it. John Danaher is the team that he. I remember there was a list.
Okay, yeah, Dan. I should know his name by now. I know I've heard it. Manasui,
Mm-hmm.
99 plus. Honestly, it looks like Gordon Ryan to me.
Where do you see that?
I googled New Wave CJI team,
Okay.
and it came up as notable members: Dorian Oliveras, Griffith, Dan Giancarlo.
That's a lot of heavyweights in that team.
Yeah, Dorian is 66 kilograms. Giancarlo is 88. Luke is 99, and Dan is 99 plus.
There you go. So official team is Dorian, trial winner 77, Giancarlo, Luke Griffith, and Dan Manasao. Do their quintet have to be one each weight class? I wonder.
I would think, but I don't know.
So he had Davis, sorry, Gary Tonin, and Oliver Tasson for 77 kilos for options.
John Danaher shares New Wave Jiu-Jitsu team lineup for CJI2.
This is the one you have?
Yep, that's the one.
Do you think this is his last event that he will do before he retires?
I wouldn't be blown away. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would not be surprising at all.
Yeah, especially if he has surgeries coming up. Schedule probably already.
I do wonder, like, what retirement looks like for him. I mean, will it be like he's just not an official coach and he'll still like hang out? Because I can't imagine him like just not doing jiu-jitsu at all.
His body starts turning up in Austin
Right.
for a new hobby.
Yeah.
Just stab wounds. Stab wounds and
Yeah.
fanny packs left behind. Um, the fanny pack killer.
Fanny killer.
Yeah. How did he kill him? He took him to death. Apparently, all these stab wounds were self-inflicted. He was talking to them the whole time. How to do it. He was telling them how to do it. Yeah, I can't mention what he will do next.
Yeah. Be Gordon Ryan's right-hand man
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, because Gordon Ryan already he started moving equipment to his new gym. The people moving mats and things like that to the new gym. I think it's North Austin.
What do you think of him retiring? Do you think he just knows when to quit, or
Maybe just like Kenny Rogers song. The gambler.
yeah?
You got to know when to hold, know when
I
to
mean,
hold on. I mean,
I do. I feel like his downfall was imminent, so him getting out might be the smart move.
yeah, that's opening the door for Gordon to be a coach too.
Right. Yep.
I mean, how many good coaches Gordon Ryan had? He had John Danaher, Tom DeBlas, Hensels.
Yep. I mean, Jeff Glover, right?
I'm not sure.
Am I thinking that wrong?
I thought Jeff Goldberg was in San Diego.
Who am I thinking?
Eddie Cummins?
Me? Maybe.
Eddie Cummins was there, the Blue Basement.
No. Yeah. No, I'm thinking the wrong guy.
Okay.
I see him on Instagram all the time. I'm bad with names.
Is it Tom DeBlas?
No. I don't know. But yeah, he's definitely had quite a few. And I mean, he's been doing instructionals and you know, just traveling around and teaching for a while. So I mean, yeah, he's
He had his own system too.
right. Yeah.
Question: do you think he's going to use what's environmental jiu-jitsu?
Absolutely not.
He hates it.
No. Yeah. No. There was an article released on his or was it a Joe Rogan podcast? One of those where he was asked about
Yeah,
ecological
he
jiu-jitsu.
somebody's like a text.
Yep.
That somebody leaked it that he said he was fucking retarded. Now that he's like pro-American, do you think he's going to change all those moves to American names instead of the Japanese names? That's my question. It's only Texas. You're in Texas, bro. He can be saying those kind of
Yeah.
words around here.
Yeah, the only thing keeping the names Japanese was Danaher.
Yeah. Like, no, you take your K shit. Get the fuck out of here, boy. You be saying those words around here. Let's stop using those kids in Basami or none of that. Cut the Batami. So no, man, no, don't do that here. It's own school.
Inside Ashi. No, that's the rattlesnake rap.
You hear that rattle? Game over, son. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Because I mean, he has a lot of athletes to coach as well. I mean, Luke Griffith goes over there, Emergali. He had Dan. Those three right there for new wave because it's gonna be a new. He says it's gonna be the new wave as well. Jim.
Oh, okay. Is he gonna train with the sole purpose of destroying the B team?
Yeah, probably just destroy him. But and then have Elena too,
Yep.
because she probably go with them too.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Now that then her retire because she used to roll with Gordon practice.
Yeah, she is like unbelievable potential.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember?
I mean, she's
Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, in Avengers. That should remind me of.
yeah.
Straight killer.
Yeah. No lie. She hasn't lost many times in the last, I don't know how long. Elizabeth Clay beat her.
It was a decision, right?
Was it?
I
I don't
want to say it
remember.
was a decision. And that was in 22.
Yeah. That's the only loss that I can remember from her.
And she lost ADCC finals last year. A decision. She
Who
was
she
silver
lose
medalist.
that? Who she lose that to? Wasn't
Carolina Vieira.
Vieira?
Ana Vieira. That's who she lost to.
Okay.
5-0.
That.
Yeah, she has to be submitted.
Yeah. Well, I imagine. Yeah. She strikes me as somebody that wouldn't tap You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the longest, a lot of people thought that she was Danaher's daughter.
Danaher's daughter?
Yeah.
Really? That's fun.
She kind of had like a resemblance to John Danaher.
I can't picture that, but that would be wild. That would be crazy.
Here's a picture when she got promoted to her brown belt. Same smirk.
Same smirk, yeah, true.
So what if that's John Danaher clone in a younger body, just coming up through the rings, and the parents are actually just what they call, I can't remember what they call the parents. They were just donors, the egg donors.
Yeah.
So that way John Danaher can just focus on jiu-jitsu. Now that
That's
he
why he's
retired, he
retiring.
go back to raising his daughter. This is not surrogate. I can't remember. There's a surrogate.
So what?
This is surrogate parents. This is what's called whenever like somebody else is like.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
So this is when she got a purple belt when she took silver, and she got a brown belt.
After 3 months of being a purple belt.
She did.
That's what it says.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I feel like they have held out a long time to give her a purple. I don't know why, but she was a blue belt for a long time and just dominating people. And so they gave her a purple belt, which made a lot of sense. But then I think the brown belt also makes a lot of sense because, yeah, she's dominating black belts with ease.
And she's double gold too in a lot of tournaments.
Right. Yeah.
IBGF World double gold. It was crazy. And those are grown-ups that she goes against.
Right. Yep.
I think the only reason they gave it the purple belt so that way they were able to justify giving the brown belt. They can just give it a brown belt straight up.
Right. Yeah. True. Yeah. That was just like, yeah, just a step.
But yeah, rightfully so, she has a brown belt.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But it is impressive she does both the gi and the no gi.
Because usually he's primarily a no-gi gym, which that's what most of the money is going to, like as far as like views wise. Usually it's no-gi. There's not much like viewership as far as like other like that in gi, unless you're like really a fan of the sport.
That's the thing. You have to know jiu-jitsu to really enjoy gi jiu-jitsu. I think anybody looking from the outside can enjoy no gi, but gi is much harder to understand and see and appreciate.
Especially that match, Nicky Rod. It looked like if you're not a fan of the sport, you're like, man, why did they just hold him down for that long? Not go for
Right.
attacks. You just see the small adjustment he was doing. But in gi, you don't see those because they're wearing gi.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a lot of the grips is lapels and sleeve and holding onto the gi.
Yeah. Yeah. Those just little tiny hand changes make all the difference in the world in the gi.
Do you think it would change the sport if they were stalling calls or stalemates?
I think it would help. I think it would help. I don't know that it would revolutionize anything, but I think it would help.
Because it takes away from holding up to the position just to hold the position. You're not going for attack.
I think you have to be somewhat careful with it because in some ways that's like almost the beauty of jiu-jitsu in some ways is that you can rest in certain positions while the other person is exerting themselves, and it's kind of part of the strategy and part of the just the technique of it, really, you know.
Is there passivity, like as far as like score? So if somebody's in a position, they're not scoring, and they're looking for a score, they get warned the second time. They get put in a position they have to finish. Like for example, in wrestling, in freestyle, they call passivity. So you get called out for like, okay, you're not being aggressive enough. Not necessarily you're backing out, but you're disengaging for every time they go on like tying up, you're disengaging. So second time you get called for passivity, you get put in a shot clock. So you got 30 seconds to score. If you don't score, the other guy gets a point.
Yeah, I think that something like that could be used well. Yeah, yeah, I think that would definitely help.
Yeah, especially 15-minute matches.
Yeah.
It forces them to be aggressive on something.
I think, yeah, it would be sometimes though, I feel like it could be hard to make that call just because sometimes when you're working towards something, it's really hard to see progress. Even though you are making progress, it's hard to see it. So it might be hard to call, but I mean, there's other times when it is definitely obvious that like stalling is happening. And yeah, that would be, I think, definitely helpful is to have something that the ref could use to like really penalize them.
Do you ever notice any like side control being in this event? I see that many side control. See a lot of backs, a lot of leg attacks, but never saw like any side control position for a while.
That is interesting. Yeah, I don't remember. That is strange. She had a lot more mount than side control, but I don't even like mount that much because I feel like I get bucked off.
And also leg locks there.
Yep.
I see mount, back attacks, and leg scramble. Because there's a
That
lot of
is, yeah.
there's a lot of attacks from side control as well.
Yeah, true. I wonder if maybe the reason is because there's a lot of escapes from side control as well.
Yeah. It's 50-50. Do you want to go over some of the matches coming up for the UFC? So this weekend we have Yamashita Gary. His ex-wife's last name, his wife, ex-husband's last name, Gary. He's going against Carlos Pratt. Machado is coming out of a title fight with the interim title in which he lost. I'm not seeing like anything impressive about him. Machado Gary. First of all, during fights.
Have you seen anything impressive out of him?
Yeah, as far as like being like a submission specialist or like a striking specialist, he's just like even.
Yeah, yeah. That is, I mean,
He beat Venom Page, MVP.
that's true. I never really, yeah. Like I have him in my head as like he does well, but 2021 he had a TKO, 2022 two decision, 2023 one decision, two loss, 24 two decision, one loss. Vast majority decision winner.
I mean, he beat Neil Magny, he beat Daniel Rodriguez. Those are top guys right there.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Magny is really active. But I haven't seen anything like that strikes out like being in like a top echelon guy. Only that his wife being his manager. That might be the reason why. Another fight that's going on is Anthony Smith versus San Mingyang. This says it's gonna be Anthony's Lionheart last fight. Do you hear about his coach that passed away before his last fight?
No.
His coach passed away recently, and he already was scheduled for a fight. But he fought last year against Dominic Reyes. Such a tough one. But also, yeah, he said he was one of his best friends too. So it's like he had a good relationship with the guy. And also, when he went against the middleweight guy, because he was that last year. Because I think he's supposed to fight Jamal Hill, that he pulled out stuff like that. He went against Roman Dolce at UFC 303 for 5 week, international 5 week, and he was just stationary. Remember that? He was like
yes, I do.
he like a punching bag.
Yeah.
Just standing there. There wasn't doing many combos or anything like that. And against Dominic Reyes too, he was asking him to hit him. Dominic Reyes to hit him, and he was like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
I mean, yeah, I kind of have a couple of those like bad matches that he's had in my head, and like I don't know, I like the guy, but I hate seeing him lose. So I kind of glad that okay, maybe this is the end.
Yeah. And also, he has a future in broadcasting because he's a good commentator too.
Right.
Yeah, analyst at the same time.
Yeah. No, I think that would be good for him if this was the end.
Yeah. But also, you have to think about it. I don't know those guys that are in the staff right now. If they're analysts, it's not really like in the payroll for commentator because Bisping is a commentator. Well, Dominic Cruz is a commentator. DC is a commentator for like the broadcast for matches. Well, if they're analysts, they're usually, I don't know if they're hired through ESPN currently. I don't know how it'll play out if they go somewhere else. Because it's part of the package. But also, some of them, they were also commentators and analysts before when they were with Fox. For example, like Rashad Evans and them. Kenny Flory was back then too. I'm not sure how they'll do as far as like for the new network or whatever streaming they're going to be doing.
That's a valid point. I don't know.
Because ESPN is 24 hours, so they have a lot of openings for analysts to cover MMA. But if they go somewhere else, who's gonna be paying them for that or like hiring them for that being analyst?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much demand there is for those like analysts. I feel like not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, a lot of people want to do it.
Yeah. Also, the good thing, I like ESPN hiring former fighters.
Right.
Instead of having just reporters and things like
Yeah.
that, that you just look from the outside and they don't know what's going on the inside.
Yeah. What's his face? The guy, what was his name? Guy who commentates, I think, for basketball or something. I don't know. He does other sports.
Stephen A. Smith,
Yeah, I think so.
he's
Yeah.
for his back here.
Yeah.
Do you know that he played for Winston-Salem State University? He played basketball
No.
back in the day. Yep, he's from North
Wow.
Carolina.
That's funny. That's funny.
Stephen A. Smith, yeah, him and Skip Bayless, man, those two.
It was, yeah, just not who I wanted to hear talking
Yeah,
for this. Especially like the stuff he said was like, what are you doing?
yeah. And then he was, Joe Rogan was saying something about that, and then he did a video about somebody holding mitts for him. And he was punching. Do you see the video?
Yeah.
And the mitts were like below the waist. He's just punching like, dude, who holds mitts like that in the first place?
Yep.
But man, yeah, some people, it's good to have analysts that did the sport, because other sports that have that. For example, you have Alex Rodriguez, an analyst for baseball, and you have other people that are like former NFL players that are actually
Right.
for
I was gonna say a
NFL
lot of
games.
football guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look at the inside, what they look for, talk about preparation for the matches and things like that.
Mhm.
And that's good, because it really helps you show the IQ that those athletes have.
Exactly. Yeah. That is the thing, because like fighting looks simple, and so many people think they can do it, but then when you really break it down, like how much goes into those matches, it's crazy, crazy stuff. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of uh, planning. Yeah, it's just it's not a simple or straightforward sport at all.
It's a lot of layers,
Yeah.
because you can try to like um prepare for one thing is boxing, another thing is grappling, but put them all together, it's kind of like a decathlon of combat,
Yeah.
and they go at the same time, just in the same place.
Mhm.
There's not like a time limit on when you can use. Like, for example, the first round you're gonna do striking, second round you're gonna do grappling. No, all goes.
I feel like that's what makes it so hard to like. There's not a lot of fighters that are able to stay champions for like extended periods of time because there's so many strategies you can use against them. Versus like jiu-jitsu or boxing or even wrestling, really. There's one way. I mean, obviously there's different techniques, but it's a much narrower scope, and I think it's much easier to get almost like a monopoly on that versus MMA. Who knows who you're going to be fighting? It could be some athlete,
Yeah,
some,
it's every
just
involved sport that you have different layers in which they can just flank you in another a part of the
right,
sport within itself that you know you have to be prepared for.
right, yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. To me, that's one of the amazing things about it. Uh,
That's the reason why also gamblers love it a lot, because stakes are so high.
true, true, yeah,
Stakes are so high, and you can just
hmm
the odds can change in them.
yeah,
You don't have to wait for the
yeah.
end of the whole
Regularly
match
does.
to see the result.
Yeah, right. You get like Leon Edwards versus Usman, tail end, losing. I thought, if I'm remembering right, I was under the impression he was losing basically the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and then head kick turns
Yeah.
it completely around.
And you also have to take into consideration he already lost 3 rounds in a previous match against Usman
Yep.
back 2015, I think.
Hmm.
And then he was getting ragdolled for fourth round. People
Right.
already were cashing in on their bets already.
Yeah.
And then headshot. And then even better, what's crazy was when he went against him again, he beat him again. Leon
Oh.
Edwards
Yep.
in the rubber match.
Yep.
Usman he only remember him fighting Hamza Chimaev. Since then, I haven't seen any other match for him. Kamaru Usman.
Peru. It's been a long time.
I've seen that he posted videos of him hitting like Muay Thai pads, like in Thailand and stuff like that. They work against Muay Thai, but I haven't seen any matches for him. I mean, he was in freaking Wakanda Forever, the movie
He was in
Black
what?
Panther.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Have you heard any like matches, upcoming matches or anything like that? He was considered one of the greatest 170-pounder at one point when he was a champion. He has a fight since October 2023. And that's a middleweight.
Yeah, I wonder what he's.
I'm not sure. He's 37 years old too. He's not any younger.
It's the past the special age.
Yeah.
36.
Why did he lose the title? He says 35 magic number. 2021. No, 2022. He lost it 2 years ago. I mean, the way he knocked down Masvidal in Dubai,
Yep.
that was impressive.
Yep. He was a smart fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most exciting guy to watch, but he was smart.
Yeah. I mean, he had Trevor Whitman as his coach, and he had Justin Gaethje as his training partner. What else is fighting in this weekend? Mikael Pereira is fighting at Russian Magomedov. He's known for being like really flashy fighter, Michael Pereira. Also, this card was supposed to be the fight where Jamal Hill was supposed to fight Khalil Roundtree. Well, I think Jamal Hill got injured.
Oh, okay.
I was looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that would be cool. Would be a good one to see.
Because that would have been title eliminator match, not heavyweight. And then the next one is going to be May 3rd. That's going to be a banger. That card is going to be interesting.
It's a pretty short card right now.
Mm-hmm. But you have, first of all, Diego Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. That's a good one right there. You have the return of Misha Tate against Yana Santos. She's been in the prelims. How many fights does she have left, I wonder?
Cannot be many. It really can't. She's been fighting a decent amount lately, I think. From what I remember.
I remember fighting back in 2011 for Strikeforce. So, I mean, she retired at one point, then she came back.
Right.
She was like, she was a vice president of some sort of one at one point. Then she moved to overseas. Yeah, that's what when she retired, that's what she was doing. She was working for One FC.
Damn. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. She was living, what's the name of where the headquarters for One FC is? Right now, Singapore. That's the headquarters. And they're known for hiring like former fighters for their staff. For example, at one point they have, what's his name? The guy he used to be middleweight champion. His name was Ace. He looked Ace Ventura. He was Matt Fisher. Franklin? Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin?
Yeah. That's who was their working for them before with One FC. Bo, did they had her coming in too? Bo, yeah, I don't know what she has after this. Misha Tate.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like she's been fighting about roughly once a year since she came back.
Mm-hmm. She took 5
like
years.
she retired in
2016 when she lost against Raquel Pennington. Then she came at 21. She beat Miriam Renault and then lost to Vieira. Then lost against Lauren Murphy. What she fight 23? Julia Avila. Yeah. Face crank submission. I mean, she's 2-2 since she come back. And 2 of those matches are performance of the night. She was fighting flyweight against Lauren Murphy. And she returned to bantamweight after that. So she's 125. She has Santos.
How do you see that one going?
I'm not sure. Santos is pretty good. I like striker. I mean, Santos lost against Aldana. Tough cookie to break. Back in 21. She beat Vieira. I wish Vieira, I think, beat Misha Tate already. Santos lost. So 21 was when she lost in July 2021. Yana, but I think she was pregnant in 2022. Then she came back for Holly Holmes and Carol Rosa. So lost those 2 in 23. Who is she fighting in 24? Chelsea Chandler. And she beat her. I mean, since she's 2-3 since Misha Tate came back to the UFC. 21. Yep. It's not that far off. 2-2 and 2-3. That's for the record of the last few fights. And both of them coming off a win. And looking for a win as well. They need a win.
Right.
Because they're in the prelims right now. In the bantamweight division in which you have freaking Kayla Harrison. Probably.
Right, yeah.
He's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see Misha making it like super far back again, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, she already been a champion. She's 30 years old. Can she beat Pena? Can she beat Kayla Harrison.
So I
It
don't
should
think
be
there's any
Raquel
chance.
Pennington. All of those are in the way.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that ending well.
Yeah, and then you have other one. Another match is Rainier the Ritter versus Bo Nickal, the Golden Boy of 185 right now. I mean, this is gonna be a tough one for Bo Nickal because RDR, he is a double champ out of PFL, and Bo Nickal, he didn't look like he wanted to engage in the ground game in the last fight. I'm not sure if he's willing to engage this guy's I mean, what's his record? Submission, TKO. Take a submission by a inverted triangle. Submission. He likes to finish first round, third round, first round, first round, third round. Will he be willing to engage against a former champion from a different organization? It's a question.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. That's
He had a lot to say whenever they asked him about him matching up against Hamza Chimaev. He was saying that, well, wrestling is no big deal. I've been doing this since I was in elementary school. Like the wrestling I do, I used to compete internationally. I do, but like you better back it up now because you have guys that are willing to grapple now, higher ranking.
Yeah, no doubt.
If they want to build him up to a championship match, this is the guy that he has to go through.
That's yeah, I can't. That should be a good fight. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's got to be willing to engage coming from a different promotion. I feel like he's got to. I feel like if you make that transition, you got to come guns blazing a little bit because there's definitely a target on your back. To see if you can make it. I think that'll be interesting to see.
Another guy that remind me of is that came from another organization that was guns blazing. I think he came from PFL as well. Was Justin Gaethje.
He came from PFL.
He was the World Series of Fighting back then.
Ah, okay, yep.
But he like came guns blazing, and look where he is now. I'm on like the top echelon of 155.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's earned
straight violence, whether win or lose, and people love that. For the main event, that was Corey Sahigin versus Figueredo. Is it in the night? I mean, Corey Sahigin looks like one of those guys that's like one match away from a title contention.
Yeah. What do you think his fight style? What puts him there? Do you think?
Frank, like, do you remember the flying kick that he did to Frank Yeager? Frank Yeager like dipping. He just did a flying knee and boom, sent to the shallow realm.
It's like an adaptability thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like just sees openings and knows how to use them.
Yeah. I mean, he beat Marlon Moraes, former champion Frank Yeager, beat Sonya Dawn, beat Rob Font. His last loss was against. Well, he only lost. He only got that he lost. That hasn't been a champion. Well, I don't know about this guy early on. But in the UFC, he lost against 3 former champions. He lost against Aljamain Sterling, TJ Dillashaw, Peter Yan.
Mhm.
And the last one, they lost to was Urman Nurmagomedov last year, which probably was a title elimination for the who's going to be the next challenger.
Mhm.
He lost his decision to him. So in which this one probably is going to build himself back in against Figueredo. Figueredo, as far as like he's I mean he finished. I mean this guy done a lot of shit though. He beat Moreno and then he lost against Moreno. Oh no, the fourth one. I forgot about the fourth one against Moreno. Because first one was a draw. He fought him 4 times back to back to back to back.
Mm.
So from 2020 to 23, he fought him 4 times. That's nuts. So he lost against because Dr. Stoppage in there. Then after that, he left the division, came up to 135, Rob Font, beat Cody Garbrandt, Brendan Show, beat Marlon Vera, but then lost to Peter Yan, former champion in China. So both of them are coming off a loss.
Yep.
But the last 4 fights is 3-1 for both of them. It'll be interesting because Curtis he can stay on the outside. I don't know how to figure it out. Be able to close the distance.
Yeah, that's true. That'll make it an interesting dynamic both coming off a loss, but still having a decent record within, the recent matches.
He's not just the striking. Also, Sahagan, he blew TJ Dillashaw's knee in the first round when he fought the TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw fought back for a decision. against him.
Sure, he blew his knee out?
He blew TJ Dillashaw's knee in the first round.
Yeah.
He got him in the heel hook, I think. He blew his TJ Dillashaw's knee,
Mhm.
and TJ Dillashaw was able to fight back to a decision. Yeah.
That's some grit.
Yeah. Should have taken his leg off, take it home next time.
Yeah. Don't leave anything to question.
No. Because I think they finished in that position in the first round, and they had to reset in the second round. But yeah, he blew his knee in that round. Which Chris I don't know how he was able to come back. Boom. I mean, Chris Hagen, he's a good guy. Who's the guy that fights at 145? Remind me of him. It's always getting confused. I want to say he's a Golden Glove out of Boston. Kevin Cater.
Okay, yep.
Is it Kevin Cater? Yeah, I think so. Because they kind of like similar. If I'm Holloway, because he outboxed Max Holloway outboxed him in that match. He's like, yeah, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. Just to prove a point. Remember that fight?
Yeah.
Their most total strikes attempt in a round in the featherweight division history. I think, was the most strikes attempted. Yeah. So for a 191 in fourth round. Yeah.
The gas tank on him too.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
That's as many as a lot of fights, actually. In one round and towards the a trailing round too. That's
And Kyle Kidd is known for being like a boxing guy. Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, which makes you wonder, where's Max Holloway right now? Right now, in this part of his career, is he going to stay 145 or going 155? Because if he goes up 155, he's going to face Ilia Topuria again at some point. Ilia Topuria will jump up to 155 as well. He got KO too, man. My heart was broken that night. My heart was broken.
What night?
When he got knocked out by Ilia Topuria.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to, on February 25th, February 2025, he confirmed via Twitter that he will stay at lightweight permanently. Because remember, that's a weight class that he knocked out Gaethje. I wonder if he's not cutting that much weight now.
So you wonder if he's still cutting?
No, not that he's not cutting weight. Also, he's a big guy, 145, 5'11". You will have an issue finding a 155 as far as range.
I mean, that's a huge factor when it comes down to it.
I also wonder if cutting weight will make it susceptible to knockout, because remember, you dehydrate yourself so much, you're more likely to get knocked out.
Yeah. Your brain can't be functioning fully at that.
Will you take punches from 155 pounders?
Right.
That's the question. We'll see. I mean, lightweight is going to be interesting. We have a lot of guys there. Who's the guy that we were talking about? Oh, Paddy Pimblett is in there too. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a good, interesting fight between those two.
They on the up and up. That would be.
Two fan favorite. Do you see one shirt that he had before? Yeah. Because he's not the BMF, but also like the daddest man in the planet.
It's funny.
He always he loved talking shit to DC.
Yeah.
They had a competition in one of the shows that DC is in, like, see who's the daddest man in the planet. They did see who did the best chocolate milk. They did like Nesquik, and like put milk, and another one changing diapers. They really took it to the next level. Yeah, man. That'd be interesting who he's going to be fighting at 155. I mean, for former champion at 145.
That's definitely quite a step up.
I also wanted to bring up another one was that, remember we were talking about here at the GFL, Global Fighting League. They canceled their their upcoming event. They're supposed to fight. Yeah, a lot of people that are mad, like, because the people that were they were looking forward to their fights, they were canceled. According to them, this says their investor pulled out.
Yeah.
And then they were able to. That's the reason they're not having the event.
That's a tough situation.
May 24, May 25th was supposed to be like their first event.
I wonder if they're confident in future ones. I wonder if they're confident in future.
I'm not sure, because I don't know the way that this is gonna be set up. Because May 24th is supposed to be Uriah Faber versus Barral, Anthony Pettis versus Benson Henderson, Holly Holm versus Julia Budd, and then 25th is supposed to be Tony Ferguson versus Dylan Dennis, Overson Pro versus Alexander Gustafsson, Uriah Hall versus Douglas Lima, and Paige Van Sant versus Randy Field. That's what they're supposed to be the lineup. Yeah. And there's supposed to be another one. Who's Romero supposed to be fighting somebody? Gegard Mousasi. That's another one. But I don't know how they're. And so I was looking into it. Also, their weight class is weird. For example, the Anthony Pettis and Benson Henderson, they're considered lightweights, but they can agree to fight at 170 and fight. You don't have to make 155 weight class. Weight limit. Yeah. So for example, for instance, for the Romero, the 185 taking just 215. They agreed to fight 215. It's like, why can commission allows like sanctions there? Because it's not considered really middleweight. They don't make because usually the commissions are the ones to do the weigh-ins, right? Only what commission will sanction the event like that? Because it would be more likely if it was an exhibition, it will make sense. It's not sanctioned the same way.
Cater to that, but I don't.
I wonder because this is in the way that the guy that was like the CEO was explaining was the investor, in which the plan was eventually there will be like, remember how they had like LA team, Miami team, they have a New York team, Dubai, like Brazil, like that. They were planning on having franchise owners. So every team will have like kind of like the NFL have the franchise owner. The investors will have their own team and they'll be spending money. So that's able to the 50-50 with the fighters in that event.
So I wonder if one of those investors pulled out.
I'm not sure. Because also Javier, I think he's the coach for the Dubai team, the AKA. And allegedly, Cain Velasquez was supposed to be one of the coaches, but now that fell through.
I'll start.
Yeah, how do you go forward from here? Because a lot of fighters they're banking on that too.
Hopefully they go through with it. I mean, it seems like it's got a lot of potential. It seems like it'd be a lot of fun to watch. But I mean canceling the first one does because somebody pulled out, an investor pulled out. It doesn't bode well.
Especially fighters they're counting on as far as the retirement.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Hopefully they'll be able to bounce back because it looks really promising.
Right.
And some of their fighters that are here in the roster, they were from Bellator because Bellator is defunct. It's no longer.
Right.
So they decided to go to GFL instead of going to another organization, PFL, in the UFC. So that's not looking good for them. Crazy. I mean, the news you want to bring up?
Go off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Yeah, I'm gonna close this in. Thank you again for watching, listening, etc. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Make sure you share, subscribe, like, and if you want to just come and join us on our live next time. Till then, thank you again. See you later.